Ayo, before the video starts, I want to do a quick explanation about something. When we recorded the video, I was trying to do this funny thing, have like a baby intermission in case my nephew needed something, my brother, stepsister needed, or sister-in-law needed to step away for a minute to take care of my nephew. And when I went to record, it had been a long day already. I'd had a lot of technical problems. I couldn't even really get my webcam to work. Well, barely got it to work. And I was already fed up already, so I started the recording. And we did the video just for me to realize that I left it on the wrong OBS scene. So this whole video is going to be in that baby intermission screen. Hopefully you all still enjoy. Well, let's just get into the video.
Heyo gamers, I'm here with RWBY video. We're doing a top 30 RWBY moments with my brother and my sister-in-law. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
And my nephew's here.
Unplanned, but he woke up from his nap before we were ready.
Well,
So-
say lovey. So who are we gonna start with?
Ladies first.
Let me get
Give me
Alright,
my
so
notes,
then we're
dude.
doing you next.
You're the host. We'll do Onyx, you, then me.
Okay.
Well, like the way it's kind of
Well,
sick,
you
we'll
said
go.
ladies
kinda
first,
clockwise.
so
Hey! Watch it, Mister. I can still kick your ass, you know.
okay,
anyway.
let's get it rolling. Alright, what's your top 10? What's your number 10? And this isn't in any particular order. This isn't like least favorite to best, or this is just us picking random.
This is literally the one.
Anyway,
Mine's in the order of when I remembered it.
honestly, I would have to say my number 10 would have to be Pure Dying because, like, it came as an honest shock because
It's Pura.
she was like one of my favorite
Well,
female
that
characters.
was actually my number 10 too. Alright, so the reason why I liked it was from the narrative standpoint. And I liked it because Pyrrha's, and I also kind of grouped in Penny's death and Yang's arm being cut off because they all kind of serve the same narrative purpose, showing that no one's immune and no one's invincible. Not even Yang is invincible. And it also kind of showed some of Adam's power in that moment. So that's why I appreciated Pyrrha's death, even though it pissed me off.
Oh, it pissed everybody off.
Although secretly, I liked it because I was always a Lancaster shipper.
I mean, but it makes sense though.
But Arcos, man, Arcos, rip Arcos.
Nah, that thing could say sunk.
You're mean. You are terrible.
I am. I don't care.
Okay.
I've also tried to see how salty I can make the RWBY community.
Very apparently. Okay, my number 10. Honestly, it's the first time we saw RWBY fighting with the goons at the Dutch shop in chapter 1.
Yeah, that was awesome. But
It just showed like this little tiny thing, like this little tiny girl, like 14, 15-year-old girl. You get to wield this giant death machine of death.
Yeah, that's
With
what
that
I think that's
much
what truly got you into RWBY, because the first time I had him watch RWBY, he didn't want to watch it. But I ordered
That's because
pizza.
you brought me in.
I'd ordered pizza from the group, so I was like, you know what, guys? If I do this, you're watching RWBY, because I've been trying to get them to watch it for a while, and they wouldn't do it.
It
So
was
like,
you, me, and Ethan, I think.
no, it's you, me, and Zach.
Oh yeah. And the first time I ever actually saw anything from RWBY was I came in. You were watching the Vale Town Square scene where Coco unveiled her Gatling gun.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, "Damn, that's actually kind of cool."
But then you wouldn't watch it. And it took me ordering pizza and holding your arm behind your back to watch it that made you actually want to watch it.
Well, you bribed me with food, okay?
I think that's the one way to Josh's heart.
My
Is
stomach.
Like, but yeah, it's still, whenever I remember how funny RWBY is, I still remember, are you robbing me? Yes.
Yeah?
Oh.
Crap.
Boosh. Okay.
Okay. Moving on. What's your number 9, babe?
RWBY's silver eye power.
What, you mean like when we saw it with the dragon? The Pyridine?
Like, it kind of, when I thought of Pyridine, like, I kind of remembered Ruby's eyes. And I was like, okay,
That was cool.
That actually explains why she's so different in the eye color than everybody else. She has a little bit more power than everybody actually expects.
That was actually one of my honorable mentions because, and the only reason why it turned out to be an honorable mention than like an actual part is because how much they've changed it. So now that scene makes less sense. It's like, why are they like spouting out like that and then like flowing around like wind?
I think it's also because it was the first time her ever wielding her silver eyes, and so it was kind of just like a oops, I don't know how to actually use this correctly.
It's kind of like Steve Urkel.
Well, not like any of the other ones either. Like, she didn't know how to use it when she activated it in
Volume 6,
in Volume 4, or not Volume 4, Volume 5 or Volume 6. But it still didn't look that way. And may have been an aesthetic change, but now the scene makes less sense.
Kind of like Steve Urkel's, did I do that? Type thing that first time she ever used it.
That was actually one of my honorable mentions, but it didn't hit the top for me.
These are in no particular order as to how I liked it. It was just kind of as I remembered it. Mine was
the first bring up is going to be my favorite, but
go ahead.
The last one I bring up will be my favorite, but yeah, everything else is just basically whenever I remember it. Okay, so
yours was next.
So my number 9 is when Yang walked into juniors for the second time during Volume 2.
Was it Volume 2?
Yeah, Volume 2. It's like, I'm back.
Yeah.
And then the DJ just kind of like ducks behind the booth. He's like, oh shit.
I just thought it was comical, and it kind of carried off from the Yellow trailer because before then, like, we knew.
If you hadn't seen the trailer, though, you didn't get that point.
Yeah, I'd seen all of them, so.
I hadn't seen the trailer first time I saw that. I was like, okay, what the hell happened? What did I miss? So you told me to watch it, and I watched it. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's
a baby on camera.
I just kind of liked it because it was funny.
Hi. Did you catch that, Austin?
Yeah, I saw
He said hi.
Hello. Alright, so Josh, you're number 9.
When Ruby and John start talking the first time, and she just randomly pulls out Crescent Rose.
It's like,
well, I got this thing. He's like, what the hell is that? She's like, it's a scythe with a highly customizable long-distance sniper rifle. Oh, what? It's also a gun. I'm like, oh my god, you are so like me. Ruby is my spirit animal in that moment.
She's adorable.
She's my spirit animal in that moment. Like, I don't do conversation, but I do weapons. So I make conversation about weapons.
And then John just pulls out his little wimpy sword and shield.
Hey, it was cool. I actually like John's shield and sword sheath combo. I wish I had that actually. That'd be a really cool thing to have.
I like his claymore more. Or not his claymore, like broadsword. Like,
you mean
I like it when he combines his shield and sword and it becomes like the big broadsword. I thought that was funny.
I thought that was awesome. It kind of looks more like a battle axe or anything else at that point. This is the end of Volume 5, right?
Volume 4.
I can't remember.
Just, like flex.
Remember the first time he used it against the Nuclevi?
Oh, yeah. I hated that thing. It pissed me off.
It's from Norse mythology.
Yeah, it is. So Norse mythology, it's a person-horse hybrid thing. It's like one of the stronger demons.
It actually stays in the water. I looked it up.
So why is on land? I don't get that part. But
well, depending on
Rooster Teeth having some artistic license there.
Well, it's actually dependent on the myth you read. Nuclevis in Norse mythology were actually archdemons, and they would attack the battlefields.
All right. Okay. Moving on to number 8.
My number 8 honestly had to be the different types of Grimm because even though, we're only in Volume 6, it's still bringing in a lot of other Grimm that we hadn't seen before, like the
Manticores.
The Manticore. Really cool.
I like the apathy.
Thank you. I can never get that right. I can never pronounce that right, but the apathy.
Well, it's easy to remember. It makes you not give a fuck, so it's called apathy.
But I think honestly, my favorite two Grimm would have to be
Don't say
the
Beowulf.
Beowulf.
You said Beowulf.
And the apathy, because the apathy doesn't look like an actual creature; it looks like a human being.
That makes it more unsettling.
Yeah. That's the whole
why
theory behind
it's one of my
zombies
favorite
too. That's the whole theory behind why we fear zombies so much is because they're people. They
Well,
look
they were.
human.
Yeah. My
and
favorite
Beowulfs are just
Grimm.
adorable.
Not after Volume 4. Not after Volume 4. When they got that revamp, they actually kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, the Ruby Chibi ones are so cute.
Yes, they are. My favorite Grimm is the Goliath because they really just keep to themselves. Like they're smart enough to know, like, hey, we go over there, we're gonna get shot.
Until Volume 3.
Yeah, once they realize, hey, now it's time to go mess shit up. And the gorilla one, what was the name of that one? The Baringle?
Yeah, I think that was it. Baringle.
I like that one. And I'm sorry, can we just put it out there? Did Rooster Teeth make the Baringle the Gorilla Grimm just to be a Harambe thing? Can we be honest here? Was that for Harambe?
I don't know.
That was for Harambe.
If it was for Harambe, why didn't they just name it a Harambe?
Because that would have been too obvious.
Alright, and a gorilla wouldn't be.
Alright. Okay, so we're on to number 8, right?
Yeah, I think it's my number 8.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Although the King Taiji 2 are terrifying. The two-headed snake one.
I'm gonna go with the Talk at Tai Yang's with Port and Oobleck. Because it was comical, it was funny, and I loved the look on Oobleck and Port's face whenever Tai Yang made the joke about Yang losing her arm. Like, their look was like, what the fuck did you just say? And,
dude, not cool.
Well, it reminded me of a joke we would make. Like,
no. That
make.
look on their, like, I'm not saying the joke wasn't funny. I'm saying the look on their face was, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah, well,
and then Yang just laughs it off.
Yeah, well, it reminded me of, like, our family. Our family is very much that way. Like, I busted my arm in a bike riding accident. And then Mom
you didn't bust your arm, you skinned it.
I did not skin it, dude. I actually fractured my elbow.
You never fractured your elbow.
Dude, I legitimately had to wear
even said that he did.
Dude, I had to wear a sling for a month.
I don't remember that, so it didn't happen.
This is what I live with, everybody.
Like, I legitimately broke my elbow, and you know what Mom was doing the whole time?
Call you a dumbass?
She was calling me a cripple. That's like the whole time my arm was busted, she was calling me a cripple.
Alright.
Which elbow was that again?
Right.
Okay, now I know where to punch.
Dude, it's healed
I mean, come on now, Austin. You should have already known that.
What?
Dude, it's healed now. You're not going to do anything. But,
punch the dick.
But yeah, that's why I like that. It's because it reminded me of our family dynamic. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I liked it.
It's kind of a mixture of, I think.
Depends on the circumstance. Let's go with that.
Okay, mine was already talked about, but the death of Pyrrha, like you said, like it showed like nobody was safe. Like even some of the core characters were like were touchable.
Yeah, and even Yang lost her arm, so that showed not even the core four were completely invincible.
Yeah, and Penny's death was my honorable mention, as well as the Yang losing her arm. That was my other honorable mention.
Mighty
because, like I said, even the
peace.
core, huh?
Said Mighty Righty, rest in peace.
I'm gonna punch you. Okay. But no, just the impact that scene had was why it was number 8 for me. Okay. And I think we're on to number 7.
Yeah. Honestly, this one kind of struck me just because I wasn't expecting to see her in Volume 6, but Neo, her not ever talking. You know, her facial expressions give her away a lot, you know, so you can kind of understand what she, you know, is trying to say.
That and like her, like whatever she shows.
Didn't you have a theory about why she never talks?
I had an idea back when I was writing the second part of Ally, which was Saga, that she was beaten and abused by some humans. Well, the idea was that she was secretly a Faunus, and she had her ears ripped off and her windpipe stomped on, and that's why she couldn't talk.
Which, I mean, that would make a very valid reason of why she couldn't talk.
Because, like, it's not that she doesn't, she chooses not to talk. She can't talk. Like, when Cinder's like, all right, let's talk, she pointed at her throat, like, hey, can't talk.
Yeah. I just thought that was, like, candid to me, because it just goes to show, like, you don't necessarily have to have the ability to speak.
To communicate
And actually prove yourself as worthy.
They're even to get, like, her motive across, which I already figured why she was after Cinder was because of Torchwick. But when she showed the hat, it's like, oh, yep, that explains it.
When we showed, watching the trailers and the intros before we saw Neo again, watching Torchwick's hat, I'm like, is he not actually dead?
We both kind of, like, looked at each other and said that, though.
But my number 7 is when we first met Ozpin. Wait, no, it's your turn. Never mind. Scratch that.
All right, my number 7. Let me look.
Yeah. What? Do you not have it wrote down on paper?
No, I have it in my phone. The Paladin fight from Volume 2.
Paladin fight.
Whenever they fought Roman Torchwick and the Paladin.
Oh yeah, I remember now when RWBY and Torchwick fought for the last time before he got eaten.
No, not that's Volume 3. First off, and second off, no.
Oh, the Paladin. Oh wait, that's the robot thing, right?
Yeah, the Elysian Paladin, dude.
That's what I'm sorry, I'm not awake. I'm not awake. Leave a message after the beep. Tacos.
No.
Well, anyway, no, I like that because A, that's where we got all our shipping names, and B,
like they confirmed the ship names.
And B, it was showed like how well coordinated they were and how well RWBY had progressed as a leader. So that I appreciate it again from the narrative standpoint that they're able to put in like a single moment in the series where it shows like how well they're becoming more cohesive, how well RWBY's developing as a leader, and they managed to make that flow in so naturally as well. That and Weiss's very bad attempt at a joke. I appreciated it. I like her humor.
I mean, but
I guess you could say our plans fell apart.
I think everybody collectively face-bombed at that point.
I laughed.
Like, majority of the community just, here's what they did. Like, simultaneously at that point.
Like, even Yang face-bombed. Yang has the worst jokes out of anybody.
No!
Oh, popcorn.
But she was trying. She was trying to be cohesive. She was trying to be, like a jokey part of the.
She was trying to be less white.
Essentially, yes. She's trying to be a little bit more Snow Angel, a little less Ice Queen.
Yes.
I'll give you that. My number 7 is when we first meet Ozpin. When he first walks in the room with a plate of cookies and a cup of coffee, I'm like, okay, you're gonna be important. I just don't know how yet.
Oh, you
have silver eyes.
I'm like, okay, that's definitely gonna be important.
No, I was just like, this dude's freaking creepy. He's a pedo or something.
No, when he first said that, I was like, okay, they're emphasizing the eyes. Why? Those are gonna be important. Why? I probably just watched too much Matt Pat at that point.
I wasn't being a theorist in that moment. I was just being a casual viewer, and I was just like, dude, the fuck is with you? Why are you emphasizing the eyes? Are you a freaking pedo or something?
What are you doing?
Right, what was your thoughts when we first met Ozpin? When he walks in the very first time on screen, and we actually get to meet him.
I don't really know. Like, I didn't know how to feel.
Your camera's out of focus.
On to number 6. Onyx, it's your turn. Water, please.
I'm
There you
gonna change my original number 6. but my original number 6 would have been Cinder's resiliency, but I'm thinking of changing it to Crow and Raven's like ability to change into the actual bird.
I've never.
They explained it a little bit,
But they never fully explained as to why that was the power Osmond gave them.
He just said it was. He said it's silly an afterthought, but I gave them the ability to turn into birds because he needed people to, be able to get out there fast and be his eyes. Which it's actually a reference to Norse mythology. The two ravens of Odin.
That's true. I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, that's why they chose to have them turn into birds. That and Crow and Raven. Punny.
I think Barbara had a part in that a little bit. Let's be honest here.
Raven? They're birds. Crushed it.
Damn it, Nora.
They're birdies. Let's fly.
You'd expect Yang to make a joke that bad, but no, it was Nora.
I could expect either one of them to make that level of joke, if we're honest here.
Right?
God.
Well, it sure sounds like it.
Why?
Volume 6, everybody. Watch Volume 6 for that to make sense.
Mama?
Okay,
Right.
Austin, what's your number 6?
Food fight.
Yes!
That was actually
I forgot to write that on there. I'm queen of the castle. I'm queen of the castle. Splat.
Dude, that at the end where Ruby used her speed semblance like that was insane.
Where they finally show the real physics of it. I'm like, yes. All the yes.
Here's my question.
My nerd brain
How fast
melted.
do you have to be going to create that much of a turbulent force?
Vsauce 3 talked about it, actually.
Really? You'll have to send me that video, because...
Not about specifically Ruby, but what if Quicksilver ran past you, and it's kind of the same concept.
Okay. How fast would you have to be to create a turbulent force that's able to suck up all that food, all the aluminum cans that were still filled with soda, in which each one would weigh maybe a pound? The desks, the tables,
nom, nom, nom,
the chairs, all of it, just whoosh.
She would have had to at least break the sound barrier.
Oh, with ease. Easily.
So that's what that explains why she... And if her semblance benefits her being light and small, why does she eat so many damn cookies?
Because her speed, like the Flash in
her
Justice
metabolism is what helps that.
The Flash in Justice League, he talks about that. She burns through all of that. Like she's the bottomless pit for food.
Kind of like Nora.
Because she can't.
Or Naruto or Goku.
Or Luffy from One Piece.
Luffy? I'm sorry, I don't.
Luffy.
The guy with the hat. The one that could stretch.
Good throw, Bubba.
I haven't watched One Piece, so I don't know.
Or Meliodas. No, Yatsu from Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
My number 6, though, is The Fall of Beacon.
Really?
That showed like an end of an era, and showed me that the show was going to turn more serious and take a much darker turn.
Like I said,
it took a big right turn after The Fall of Beacon,
and it turned very dark very quickly, and I actually kind of liked it. What about you, babe? What's your thoughts on The Fall of Beacon?
I'm right there with you. Now, you kind of explained it exactly how I would, so I'm right there with you. I can't put it else into words.
Let me just get out of your head.
Okay.
My brain is also mush. Leave me alone.
All right, well, then we're on to number 5. It's your turn.
I would have to say the myth of the old man and the sisters. Because it just goes to show how the maidens how the maidens came to be. And that, just because somebody is a certain way, you can still help them and turn them into, something better than what they already were.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to know them
in order to
do
help
it.
them, yeah.
Along those lines, one of my favorite moments was when Ozpin was confirmed to be the wizard. Because that's one thing I always theorized. But then I would go on these message boards and see stuff like that, and people were like, no, it's not Ozpin, it's someone different. Just Green's a coincidence. Green's a coincidence. There is no
No, it's clearly
coincidences.
Ozpin.
There is no
He knew way
coincidences
too
in
much.
RWBY.
Yeah, and plus he knew way too much not to be the wizard.
There are no coincidences in RWBY. That's one thing I have solidly learned.
I learned that a long time ago, like in Volume 3.
Hold on, it's
your
Austin's
turn.
Okay, my number 5 is Sun seeing Blake's house for the first time.
I guess that's.
That was funny. She was like,
It's like,
"Where do you live?" Up there. What?
No, it's like that one over there.
Just a look of
pure give it
up. Pure. You're rich.
And here's another thing, and this also goes back to Ally. One joke me and Josh always made was, what if Blake was actually a princess? You know, because she's always calling Weiss princess. She's always making fun of Blake. What if Blake was actually a princess? And then, ta-da! It's always made me laugh, because it's like, dude, that was some bullshit that we made up that turned out to be true.
I mean, but it makes perfect sense.
It does. Like, once they got into the lore of it, it made sense. But at the same time, I just couldn't help but laugh because it was just.
Like, I just realized something. I just thought of something. The faunas are Australian. Think about it. Menagerie is Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something we've been thinking about for a while, Josh.
Shut up.
Most everyone's already figured that out.
Shut up.
It's either an analogy for Asia, which was constantly being fucked over, or it's an analogy for Australia,
which was also being constantly fucked over. I'm gonna go with Australia though because like it's mostly inhospitable desert.
He's waving his thing at you, Daddy.
Okay.
Okay, my number 5 is when we found out Salem is indestructible. I was like, well, fuck.
Well, yeah.
Except there may be something to the wording, because I'm not the only one who's thought this. There's been some other people who've been like dissecting it, especially since she's a genie. Genies in mythology are known to be very specific. If you say something very specific, they will do something very specific. If you be very broad,
but if you say something very vague, they will have fun with it.
Like if
I want to be the Prince of Egypt.
Like if I say I want to be taller, they'll make me a half-inch taller. If I say I want to be taller than Michael Jordan, then they have to make me at least a half-inch taller than Michael Jordan.
Which, have fun with that. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, no. I'd hit my head on everything.
I mean, at least you're not asking to be the 8-foot man, okay?
Yeah. And he said something very specific. It's like, how do I destroy Salem?
Not
you
we.
Can't.
He didn't ask how can Salem be destroyed?
He asked,
that was a question never asked.
See, and I know we're playing. Some people are going to say, "Oh, you're arguing semantics."
Are we?
No, we're not, because you're talking about a genie who's got a very specific set of rules.
Yeah, I say the Silver Eyes are going to play a big part in bringing down Salem, and I don't think I'm the only one.
If it's not destroying her, then it's at least
making her mortal again,
turning her into stone, or turning her human again. At least
making her less vulnerable to the actual power. No, making her more vulnerable to the powers that she had taken advantage of.
Yeah. Well, if anything, it may eliminate her grim side, because for all we know, she's still a good person underneath. She's just now been corrupted by the grim.
And not to mention, she's been screwed over for centuries. So, to be fair.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so that's all I had to say about that. All right, number 4, my beloved. Yeah, mine was Salem.
Oh, okay. Honestly, the custom built weapons. It kind of like how you had mentioned about Ruby's scythe. gun
thing.
Yeah, we'll just say Crescent Rose because that's the name. I mean, I love the fact that before they got to Beacon, they were able to actually make their weapons so they had time to learn to use it properly. And that way they had an idea of how they wanted to fight the Grim off.
Except for Jean, who just kind of stole.
Jean doesn't have any powers. He just sat there and lied.
Yeah, who instead of unless you're talking about John, who just kind of stole his granddad's sword and shield.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen his semblance yet.
We have.
I honestly don't. I say he just had. Remember, Pierre said he has a lot of aura. I think he uses his aura to amplify others.
Joshua, that's how semblance works. Aura is your aura. It's your soul, but your semblance is how your aura manifests. So Ruby's manifests in her speed. Yang's manifests in absorbing damage and putting it back out. Weiss's works by allowing her to kind of manipulate her glyphs. Blake kind of leaves a trace of her aura back and allows her to take a hit. Jean's able to manipulate his aura to the point where he's able to amplify his own or someone else's.
Well, and the thing that I like about Weiss's semblance is that hers is actually inherited. They've come out and actually have said, yes, Weiss's semblance is actually inherited. So I think that's actually I think that's actually pretty cool that they have, not only Ruby being a rarity because of her eyes, but Weiss because her semblance isn't something that she learns on her own that's different from her family's. No, hers is the same exact thing as her family's. It's inherited.
And Yang is rare because she has an arm that was given to her from Atlas, and apparently that's rare.
Yeah.
That was their top science. So, okay. Yeah, Austin, what was your number 4?
Let me look.
See, this is why you need to have it written on paper so it's right there in front of your face hole.
All I gotta do is go like this.
Okay, so my number 4. Well, I have like a list of them. I've just been kind of pulling off that list. My number 4 is Renora.
Yes.
Everybody ships that. It's an obvious ship. They've even confirmed it and launched it. So that ship has sailed.
Yeah, well, I loved it because of all the small moments that they had building up to it, like all the small moments from volumes 1 through 3. Then there was the moments from volume 4 up until, and it kind of hit its head. Like the best moment was probably when they were ducking under the house away from the Nuclevi.
When they were children?
No, when they were adults. When Nora has to grab Ren and slap him back into sense.
And I finally figured out, I loved when, they did the flashbacks with Nora as a child, and Ren hands her
a wooden hammer.
Yeah, that explains why she has a hammer.
That because she's Thor. She's inspired by Thor. But
yeah.
But lore-wise, that explains why she chose a hammer as her weapon. It's almost like an homage to the first weapon Ren ever gave her. What do you think he was like when he saw her forge the hammer?
Scared.
Very much scared.
I don't think he was scared. I think, he may have been scared, but I think he was proud.
I think a mix thereof.
Honestly, if I were to sit there and watch Nora wield the hammer like that,
I would be
scared out of my mind because it's like,
who
gave that thing a hammer?
No,
think about it.
It would
this
be
way.
like, holy shit, it's me with a weapon. We're all gonna die.
Right now, you were saying, Austin?
Well, think about it this way. Imagine if you had been through a traumatic incident like that with your best friend, and you were like her source of strength. You gave her this little wooden hammer, saying, "Now we can protect each other." It's kind of like a little sentiment. And then years later, you're making your own weapons, and she chooses to make a big metal hammer.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me feel really good that she chose to make that.
Yeah. All right. What was your number 4, Austin? Oh, no, you already said yours.
Yeah,
mine was Oscar running away.
Oh, yeah. That was just last episode.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, spoilers, by the way, for the latest of Volume 6, which that's been out for a few days now. You should have seen it by now.
As long as you have first, maybe. But yeah, that I have a couple ideas what's gonna happen in the next episode from that. One of them is Crow's definitely getting his ass kicked. RWBY is done. She's fed up. She's gonna go and kick his ass.
Either RWBY or Weiss is gonna slash him shit. Slap him around a little bit.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Yang did it.
I can see that. I can honestly see Yang slapping some sense into Crow. What about you, Ben?
What? Sorry.
Who do you think is gonna go hunt down Crow and slap the shit out of him?
I think honestly it's a combination of Yang and RWBY because
they're like gonna go confront him together.
Of how the how close they are to Crow.
I see.
But I think it would almost be funny if RWBY was the one to lose her temper, though.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, we've seen her lose her temper maybe
once or twice,
and both times has to do with Crow's alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
Like she threw the bottle back in the house, and then she threw her scroll in Argus
because he wasn't answering, her calls.
I just took it from the beginning. All right. We're on to number 3. Annalyn, what's yours?
The different kingdoms and their set of laws.
Yeah, I see it.
Just because
it's world building. It's very good world building.
Well, that, but also
right, can you take this?
Atlas.
I will return momentarily.
Atlas is like the beacon for their military source.
Atlas is basically Japan.
Yeah, it's basically like their military source. And
well, actually, that would make Atlas more like America because we have to supply defense to everybody.
And then you have your brother beating up the baby.
What would you say?
Right. If we need to take a baby intermission, we can.
No,
we were just... He had to get him out of the stroller because he climbed into the basket of the stroller.
Okay.
All right, honestly, my favorite kingdom will be Atlas, simply because they're like more rigid, maybe.
I don't know. I like Vale.
More structured. Why Vale?
I don't know. Just seems nice. Seems like a nice place to live. It isn't too cold. There's not too much crime, and
what are you doing, Booger?
Nice.
Well,
aside
except for
aside from all the grim.
Barno.
Put him.
I'd say Vale pre-Volume 3 would be the best place to live. Plus, Forever Fall is gorgeous.
We'll go bye-bye later.
We're in a post-Volume 3 world now, so...
Yeah, I know, but I still like it.
Maybe Vacuo? No, I don't like the heat. I don't like deserts.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not too hot, it's not too cold, not too much crime, which that's Mistral's problem. It's
no,
right.
only if you go in the lower districts.
You want mommy fix it? You gotta bring it to me.
Yeah. Their headmaster was corrupted, and the crime syndicate had taken over everything because he's a cowardly bitch.
Well, he was the cowardly lion.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 for you, Austin.
Number 3 for me is...
I'm just trying to keep this rolling along.
Wow, this is tight. Okay. The apathy tunnels. The apathy tunnels.
Oh.
You mean the sewer tunnels underneath the...
They weren't sewer. They were actually wellways, I think.
They were wellways.
But yeah, I like that because it was such a different episode for RWBY. Like, they'd never done, like, this horror thing before. And then it felt, like, so creepy on edge. Although, I felt kind of stupid because when everyone volunteered to go down with her, I thought that Salem was in somehow control of them and was going to make them jump RWBY.
I can see that, though.
I mean, the way that they were all acting, it wouldn't have surprised me if they went that way.
It's like everyone was acting off, and as soon as they all started talking like this, I could tell. It's like, you're not right, you're not right, you're not right. Something's up here, I'm on guard.
RWBY's about to die.
Then they get down there. They find the thing.
The things.
They're gross.
And then it was like such a cool moment. It's such a different tone than we've ever seen in any other RWBY episode, which I really enjoyed. And then, of course, we have the big moment. Boom! RWBY learns to control the Silver Eyes. Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Temporarily. Kind
Yeah.
of. Not really.
She's learned a trick to help her with it.
And then Maria's ends up being revealed to be another Silver Eyes, or used to be Silver Eyes. Now she has Blue Eyes. But
Anyway. Stop it.
But yeah.
The empathy tunnels were like definitely a different tone what RWBY was used to, and I kind of liked it. But my number 3 is when we meet Crow for the first time, and he gets in that sword fight with Winter.
Yeah, that was definitely an honorable mention for me, but again, he didn't quite hit. And Crow is still one of my favorite characters. He's not my favorite character right now because he's being a little dick. But
Who is your favorite?
probably Maria at this point right now.
It's like, don't be afraid. Don't worry. Maybe she's dead.
Don't spoil anything. So she's
No. It's
she's
been out for
in a
days.
close tie with both Nora and Sun. Like it's like a close race between them.
That same level of like blunt humor that's like just adorable and funny as shit.
Comedic relief. You need that in a series like this. That's why Naruto was never serious. Well, really serious.
See, I honestly felt like when we first met Maria,
that's why I loved Rock Lee so much.
See, when we first met Maria, I was like, okay, you're either going to be really helpful or just annoying. Which one are you going to be?
I thought they were somehow related. I'm not going to deny that. I honestly thought they were somehow related.
They both share the Silver Eye heritage, then they have to have some sort of linear connection.
Somewhere along the line, maybe.
And it may be that they're both descended from a surviving child of Ozpin.
Probably.
You notice one of his girls had silver eyes.
Well, I'm also going to say, though, like, I'm still going to stick with Crow and Winter's fight. It's obvious, like, you two hate each other, or you act like you do, but you're in love. Like, let's be real here. That's like a ship and a half.
Really, dude? You ship them?
Yes, I do. So,
I
get that out of my face.
Why? But I can't. I just can't.
I see them more as enemies than, lovers, to be honest.
I think they were lovers at one point, and then it just turned sour.
Just never.
Dude.
Never say those words again. There you go.
All right, number 2.
The history of Ozpin and Salem.
Dude, that was really cool. Like when we found their backstory out and found out
that Ozpin, like the reason why he's actually been reincarnated so many times. It was so refreshing to actually hear, like, oh, okay, so this is the legit reason why he was doing it out of love for the people, not necessarily for Salem, but he was doing it for the love of people, to save the people instead of breaking them down like Salem.
One of my honorable mentions was the lore dumps from volumes 4 and volume 6. I loved all the kind of lore dropping episodes because it helped me understand the world better. It kind of solidified some theories of mine, and it really helps you kind of understand the world and where everything's going. Although one thing I don't appreciate is how everyone's like writing Ozpin. It's like, dude, he's got like 30 lifetimes worth of things to remember. He's gonna forget a couple things every now and again, or not want to tell you a couple things.
Because he's afraid you're gonna, turn on him like everybody else.
Like they did.
Yep.
Did he go about it the wrong way? Maybe.
Yeah, definitely did. But he's doing the best he can. He doesn't know what to do.
All right, let him down. Just joking.
Okay, so my number 2. You know what? I was gonna make this my number 1, but I'll probably have to make it my number 2. Maybe she's dead.
Yes.
I love that moment so much because
that line was The line was everything I could love about Maria.
And here's
those soldiers though were just weird.
And here's the reason why I love that moment so much, because it kind of emphasizes why I love Maria. When Volume 5 started, or Volume 6 started, first off, we got rid of Sun. That worried me. It's like, oh, Son,
But
he's one of the best characters. Now we're getting rid of him? Okay, cool. But I was like, well, at least we still have Nora and the other crew to be somewhat funny.
then they left.
Then Nora had to disappear because Juniper had to carry the train on while they crashed.
Well, Junior. I mean, Rip Pira.
No rip.
Hi.
No rip. No rip.
She's-
I hope she
Hey.
sees Ruby and John happy together. It is just screaming in the afterlife.
Here's what Pira's doing. She's rid. Rest in dust. That was just harsh. That was mean. I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, and then it's like they disappear, and then we're introduced to Maria. It's like, oh, great.
He better be good.
He better be good, or else I'm gonna be pissed.
He better be lovable.
And then she's adorable. She's like the funniest old woman ever to appear in RWBY.
She's kind of like
Anyone else ship
the grandma from Ally. She kind of reminds me of the grandma from Ally.
Yeah. Anyone else ship her and Shopkeep?
Her and who?
Shopkeep.
Shopkeep. Oh my God, yes.
That's just a joke.
Maria and Shopkeep as a ship.
Yes.
Ow.
That's just a joke.
Ow! Get off me. All right. My number 2, Zwei. When we saw Zwei for the very first time, I was like, "Oh my God, I want it! I want one." I've actually been looking for corgi breeders just so I can have a Zwei.
Zwei. That and Blake. Blake's reaction to Zwei was priceless. Like she actually jumped up like a cat with all fours in the air.
And then she just like sat on the bed like, "Stay away from me."
And then she then when they have to leave, she's like slinking off the bed.
And then just runs away. Oh my God, could you be any more obvious that you're a cat?
Her and Zwei are that and she loves fish. Dude, it's like
what?
Here's my question, because they made her ears so emotive in volumes 4 up to 6. How did she ever hide them in that boat? Like, her ears move so much. She's so emotive with them. Like, how does
If you notice, the boat did move a lot. You just didn't notice it. If you pay attention.
Not really. The only time it would move is like when she would move her head. So I guess she would have to move her head a lot to hide all the emoting she did with her damn ears.
Oh, are you okay?
Probably. All right, and now finally up to number 1.
Are you gonna do that for every one of our top ones?
The fact that, the White Fang actually wasn't meant to be bad. It was meant to actually help the Faunus, get accepted into being integrated with the regular people.
Kind of like how the Black Panther movement originally was supposed to be before they would turn militant.
Exactly.
No. Malcolm was always militant.
Let's not get into politics. The White Fang weren't originally like a terrorist organization. Kind of make me feel better.
I'm an assassin.
One thing about that, when we were introduced to Sienna Khan in Volume 4, I felt bad because maybe she was doing the wrong things for the right reasons. But then
Adam was just a dick.
Adam was just a dick. Did you ever watch the Adam character short?
I think once.
Okay, if you watched it, then you'll understand what I'm about to say next. I no longer feel bad for Sienna because she encouraged it. She saw the route Adam went down where he almost stabbed that human out of pure spite, and she did nothing. She praised him, put him in charge of Vale, and then acted surprised whenever he continued down that path and continued his bloodshed. It's like, wait, what? No, you can't reprimand him now when you've been encouraging this bullshit the whole time.
Valid pointing. All right.
So no, I can no longer feel bad for her.
All right. Your turn, number 2. Well, number 1.
Don't. I will edit you out of this entire video.
How? 90% of the video.
I'll edit it. I'll figure it out. My number one was retaining. It was kind of a tie between the dinner scene from Volume 5 and the reunion.
Refresh my memory on the dinner scene.
Okay, so Weiss and Yang had just come back, and they're sitting around eating dinner, and they're all talking.
What about again?
They're just talking, catching up, having fun. It was a nice, lighthearted episode. That's why I liked it. And the reunion of Team RWBY at the end of Volume 5.
Yes.
And I love the fact that they were playing Home in the background, like that. Just the acoustic kind of piano for Home in the background. It's like, oh, that feels so nice. And Yang just opens up her arm, takes Blake back in, and oh, it feels so nice. It was such a good moment. I loved it.
My
hit
number
me right in
one.
the feels.
You poked my heart.
My number one is a tie between Ruby using the silver eyes at the Fall of Beacon and honestly, when they were defending Mistral and taking on the big olive-colored guy, I don't remember his name, the really giant guy.
Are we talking about the guy that stuck the crystals in him?
Yeah, what was his name?
Oh, Hazel.
Yeah, when they're fighting Hazel, and Nora's like, we don't need him to hurt. I just need him to go down. I'm like, damn, Nora just got serious.
Yeah, well...
I mean, she got really serious in Volume 6, too, when they found out. Just because you can't
feel the pain doesn't mean her hammer's not hurting you.
You just can't feel it.
Boobers.
And, like, the fact that he was still walking after he got stabbed through their side with the stinger... had ejected himself with so much dust that it's ridiculous, and got smacked with a fully charged Nora hammer. It's just, Jesus Christ.
Can anything kill this guy?
I don't think
Why
so.
didn't Ruby aim for the head?
You should have gone for the head.
Oh my lord.
He is Thanos confirmed.
Think about it.
Think about it. He uses stones to increase his power. He's next to unstoppable. And Weiss should have gone for the head.
I was talking about Ruby should have gone for the head.
They all should have gone for the head. How about that?
Well, it's like Weiss even stabbed him in about the same spot where Thanos got stabbed with the axe. So it's like Weiss should have gone for the head.
All right, well, that's my entire list.
That's mine. I got one honorable mention that's not really worth mention. That's kind of worth mentioning, but it was Yang using the arm for the first time. Like when we see her walk out with the arm, because I was like, yes,
Yang is coming back.
Yang is back. Yang is back. Yang is back.
What's your number one honorable mention?
When we find out what happened to Maria's eyes and the fact that she was actually the inspiration for Crow's weapon, which in turn was Ruby's inspiration for her weapon. Yeah. You know, I mean, it makes sense, though.
Without the Grim Reaper, there would be no Crescent Race.
There wouldn't be Crow's weapon either. I don't know the name.
So, yeah, no, they never named Crow's Scythe, which pisses me
My
off.
honorable mention was
the Crowsicle.
When Mercury got his ass kicked in the Battle Festival by Yang.
Yeah, that was very cathartic. That was very cathartic. I did not like Mercury at all.
Like, I enjoyed that. Like, the part where she punched him at the end, like they tricked her and all that. I didn't appreciate that. That kind of pissed me off. But watching him get his ass whipped by Yang was the best thing in the history of
I understood it again from the narrative standpoint. Is that, you know, they were trying to put some doubt in Yang's mind, that they were trying to start stirring the unrest, and they were starting the final process toward their big plan. So
doesn't mean I liked it.
The Crowsicle.
What Crowsicle? What was the Crowsicle?
Crow's Scythe.
The Crowsicle. That was the only thing that came to mind.
As you can tell, we're tired.
By the way, type in the word drunkle, Drunkle, in the first.
And you're gonna find Crow.
The first thing you see is Drunkle Crow.
Oh my god, I gotta Google that after this.
That's funny. But yeah, that's all for this video, guys. Have fun and stay awesome.